Boruto 2 Blue Vortex Chapter 19 sees the Shinju contemplating what is love, what is reasoning, kind of understanding or figuring out how do they deal with emotions, how do they deal with their consciousness, now that they're actually conscious beings, now that they actually have some sort of free will, some sort of choice to make of how they live their lives, as opposed to before when they were just the 10 tails and running around being crazy and wild, like they only had one purpose. They were told what to do. They were just like this functioning wild beast. Now they actually get to decide what they want to do, and for the first time ever, their curiosity is driving it's really pushing them, you know what I mean? They're curious to figure out more about themselves, more about the human connection, the human feeling, emotions, you know? Love can destroy them. It can honestly be it could just mess them up in the same way that it messed up Ina Shikacho, like they were talking about, is that they were able to go against logic and against reasoning because they cared about people. And they too can be subject to that feeling. So all of that is really to say, what are the chances, or like what are the possibilities of like them coming into some sort of agreement with somebody else? And by that somebody else, I mean, what would happen if the Shinju made an alliance with Momoshiki? Now, I'm purely talking about, like, let's say if Momoshiki and the Shinju were able to come to some sort of deal. Now, if the Shinju alone were just going to eat the Otsutsuki, it wouldn't be like that crazy of a thing. But it would only be crazy if Momoshiki was the only Otsutsuki alive. And he's not. There are one, maybe two other Otsutsukis, okay? So, for starters, the first Otsutsuki is definitely Boruto. The second one is Kawaki, okay? And then the third one, the other one, is maybe Code. And, you know, that's kind of whatever, right? But Momoshiki is one of them, okay? And he's probably going to offer Kawaki to the Shinju. They get to eat him, and they fulfill their destiny of devouring an Otsutsuki and becoming the divine tree, bearing a chakra fruit. Momoshiki eats it. They get to live out their dreams and their whatever. Momoshiki gets to be even stronger than before and gets to take over Boruto's body. Yada, yada, yada. My point being is that what can the Shinju learn from Momoshiki is like what he is able to provide them with, or like what he's going to offer them, is way more enticing than anything else. Like Kawaki just wants to kill the Shinju. Boruto wants to kill the Shinju. Code he kind of wants the Shinju alive. He kind of doesn't. He just wants to use them. He just wants to use them like a regular 10-tail. So he's kind of in the mix there. But what Momoshiki is offering is, hey, I'm going to give you Kawaki. You're going to eat him, devour him. You're going to turn into the divine tree. You know what I'm saying? You're going to bear a chakra fruit for me. And then I'm going to eat it. And then we can help each other out. You'll be able to fulfill your purpose, your destiny, and be this thing, right? And I'm going to let you continue to be whatever you're doing. You know what I mean? You're just going to give me the chakra fruit. I'm going to be stronger, right? Like, he's basically going to teach them or give them kind of that purpose, right? Let them fall into their places. The Shinju, the 10 tails, their place is to eat an Otsutsuki. That is their purpose, okay? Now, the chances of the Shinju actually going against that, or saying, actually, I want to do both, you know? They want to do more than what their place allows. But Momoshiki is going to offer them, or like, that's the enticing part. That's what's going to get them, is that, like, I'm going to give you guys what you want. If you want to eat an Otsutsuki, you can eat Kawaki, and I'll give them to you. I'll defeat them right before your eyes, and I'll kill them, or I'll defeat them, bring them to you guys, you eat them, we're done, right? That's the deal. That's the idea. And I feel like that's a really good idea to basically anybody, right? The Shinju are going to get what they want. They're going to fulfill their role and their purpose. And by then, I don't know if they'll betray him or not. But I'm more so interested in a conversation between Otsutsuki and the Shinju, right? The ones that are supposed to eat the Otsutsuki, and the Otsutsuki who use the the Ten Tails and that kind of relationship. It's always been unbalanced between the two. It's always been the Otsutsuki are the strong ones, the Ten Tails are the beasts that they use, are just a pawn in the larger scheme and the larger picture of it all. They're just to be used repeatedly over and over and over again, fulfill their purpose, and then they move on to the next thing, and then the next thing, and then the next thing, and then over and over and over again, they get, turned. Basically, they're just used, they're just pawns. But now they're in a cool place where they can bargain, they can fight for their own curiosity, for their own lives, what they want for themselves, and that's going to be the cool thing to see. And I'm kind of interested to see Boruto turn into Momoshiki, or Momoshiki take over Boruto's body, to kind of get that discussion, that kind of talk amongst each other, see what that would be like. Obviously, if Momoshiki took over Boruto, then he would kill people and he would destroy things, and he would just be a bad guy. But also the conversation would be kind of fire. Like, it would be kind of cool just to see that interaction between them. Of course, there's also the possibility that there's really no discussion, right? Like, there's nothing for them to talk about. It's more so like, know your place, Ten Tails. I'm the Otsutsuki. I'm the god here. You, on the other hand, are nothing. You're just some beast, some animal, and do what you're supposed to do, right? Like, that. There's also that. So, I don't know. I'm just purely speculating here. I just think it would be really cool to see just Momoshiki talk to them. Just kind of have a conversation with them. See what they would talk about. What they would understand about the Ten Tails and the Otsutsuki's relationship, Understand that what they've been doing has been for millions and millions upon millions of years. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's kind of cool. I just want to learn more about Momoshiki, if I'm being honest. I want to know, like, what else there is for him. You know what I mean? Like, Earth was supposed to be conquered and easy to beat, right? Not by him, by Kaguya and Ishiki, right? Otsutsuki. So the fact that he hasn't done it and they haven't done it either, it just kind of, I want to know what else was for him, So until then, well, we'll figure it out. But as of right now, we're still focusing on Ryu and Matsuri versus Konohamaru and Sarada in the first mission against the Shinju, to see what we can really do against them. So I think it's going to be a long time until we see Momoshiki take over Boruto or anything like that. But, well, who knows? Who knows? He might get taken over, but I doubt it. But anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. Yeah,